What a pleasure it is to be here with you guys today. I'm really excited to share with you a little bit more about how Lenovo is approaching enterprise augmented reality solutions, right? So augmented reality and virtual reality solutions. And if you attended the keynote this morning, my colleague Nathan Pettyjohn did a great job of kind of laying the groundwork. And I'll probably talk a little bit about kind of what he discussed, but give you a little bit more of an insight into our approach and where we see some of the challenges, really challenges that are facing enterprise. We just talked about a few of them. I just caught the tail end of this, the session right before this, and all that stuff is, there are very real challenges that are faced by enterprises. And so, I'm Mattney Beck. I'm a senior product manager at Lenovo. I've been at Lenovo about 9 years, and it was probably back in 2013 when I saw Google Glass for the first time, and I thought, man, this is really cool. Then a short time later, then I saw another really cool demo in AR, and I thought, this is the future, right? This is where this is what's going to happen, and it's going to change the way we work and the way we operate. So I'm going to jump into it here. We just got a visual problem on the screen. 1 second, but one of the things that Lenovo is very keen on, right? So at Lenovo, for the past 30 to 40 years, right, you've seen incredible IT technology advancements, right? We've got smaller, faster, better computers, and no one's knows more about that than Lenovo. And what's great about that is it's all been focused really on that knowledge worker, right, in the office setting, on 2D screens. But what we're seeing now, and my colleague talked about this morning, is there's this convergence happening, right? You've got these new technologies that are coming around with AI and the vast amounts of data that it can consume, and you've got the introduction of IoT and all of the sensors that those are out there to help us to manage and digest and utilize the data that AI is producing, right? And then we look at, there's edge computing, and we feel like augmented reality is the next step, right? The next step to help lead in the transformation with this new technology. And so let me talk to you a little bit more about why we think that. And I think Nathan touched on it, as the key concern that we're seeing out there in the workforce is the fact that there is a gap, right, a worker gap that we're facing over the next few years with baby boomers getting to that retirement age. We got 50% of companies that are experiencing, a shortage, a skilled services shortage, and then and then part of those services organizations are let me go back here. There we go. I must have hit that button. Part of those skilled services those services organizations are facing a lot of those that have the experience and knowledge in their organizations will be retiring soon. And we see that AR is going to be empowering this next generation of worker, these millennials that are coming up and being able to establish a little bit more of that continuity that companies are looking for across generation gaps. Any work done on getting this? Oh, hey, there it is. All right. Thanks for getting that taken care of. As we went out and we started, so Lenovo, I would say, is probably a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, we started to really focus on AR and VR as a focus. And we started to talk to our large enterprise and our global accounts, and going out to them and understanding what their use cases were all about. And we really kind of started to see that some of these use cases, some more than others, were starting to bubble up towards the top, right? And here's just kind of a look at some of the things that we have noticed as we've started to talk to our customers. Sorry, I keep hitting that button. There we are. And as we started to talk to our customers about what are these applications, and it's easy to see that in the manufacturing and industrial warehousing and some of our more enterprise customers, they are focused on finding efficiencies, right, and greater productivity in what they're presenting. And we talked about training earlier this morning as well. No one can argue the fact that augmented reality, especially virtual reality, the importance that can bring to, and the effectiveness that it can bring for training. I wonder if I'm just doing that because I'm, okay. Apologize for the technical difficulties here. But what we're seeing is there's this vast array of use cases that tend to, and I didn't touch it. This thing's got a mind of its own. Stay. Actually, we'll go to the next one just to make it, you see, we've already seen this, but maybe we'll just turn it off. But what we discovered, though, is that there's a vast array of use cases that are taking place in the market, right? So you've got, even more so with AR than with VR. And that's why AR is forecasted to be a larger market than VR. And as we started to look at those use cases, we started to realize very early on, as we're trying to formulate our ideas for a solution for our customers, that this is not a one-device-fits-all type of scenario. And what's interesting is Lenovo, as a hardware company, right, we like to look at our customers' problems and throw hardware at that and say, hey, here's some great hardware, right? And we're known for that. We got ThinkPad laptops, a myriad of laptops and catalog of products that we've been known for that. And basically, what we realized is that a lot of our customers were already experimenting with some of these other devices, and for good reason, right? With mobile phone AR, right? We have our education customers that are finding a lot of great traction with mobile phone AR to help their students learn through 3D models and diagrams. And then, we talked with our warehousing and our industrial customers who are using monocular type of devices. And they needed to use those devices. Those are important for those kinds of environments because those workers need to be aware of what's going on around them. There's a big safety issue with having big, bulky headsets that block their vision. And so, a monocular device helps to minimize that occlusion and gives them the ability to be safe within their environment. Then you've got binocular AR devices that really kind of extend those use cases into immersive experiences with digital information that allow for collaborative work online, or perhaps even leveraging artificial intelligence to help you identify and understand how to stack a virtual, how to stack a pallet, right, and get information that can then be utilized in your in very common use cases within the manufacturing industries. And I just clicked to go next, and it didn't work. Okay. But looking at, and we shared this slide a little bit earlier too, because we started to look at the ecosystem of what is out there, and it looks confusing, and it is confusing because where can you go? Once you start to have a device or start to have multiple devices in multiple departments within your organization, how do you manage those devices? How do you manage the content for those? How do you manage the security for those? How do you start to identify ways in which you can manage this as a whole, and then you've got different vendors and suppliers and partners that you're trying to manage, and it gets confusing. And so what we realized really early on is that global enterprises need a scalable solution. They need something that allows them to pull in, to understand what are the requirements, and then also be able to fulfill those requirements for those devices, for apps, and for the cloud. And that's kind of what led us to the solution that we came to, and that's ThinkReality. ThinkReality, and when we say solution, ThinkReality is our brand name that houses our commercial AR and VR solutions. And we say solution because solutions comprise, it's made up of hardware and software and services. And so this is a little bit of a departure from what we normally do at Lenovo, right? We approach you with hardware, but we're actually approaching first with a software plan to say, okay, we realize that it's not just throw hardware at it and it will fix the problem. No, you have to have some sort of a way to manage that device, manage that hardware, manage the content, and then also be able to have hardware that goes along with it. So really it's built on these three pillars, right? I was talking about the scalable software platform, and I'll talk a little bit more about that here in the next few slides. And I want to get to the hardware as well and give you a quick look at what the ThinkReality A6 is all about. I got a sample up here. We'll take a little bit of a deep dive into what that looks like. But then you also have expert services, like we talked about earlier, like my colleague Nathan talked about this morning, if you were at the keynote. Lenovo has got premier support services, a wide network, right? We're a global organization, and we're leveraging that global support organization to develop service offerings for our solution that allows our customers to tap into consulting or premier support that will help them to implement and manage and deploy these types of solutions. So talking about the platform itself, the platform really, we're trying to build it without constraint. From our SDK to our cloud portals to our enterprise integrations, and it really is built around the idea that let's make sense out of that ecosystem. Let's try to put them into their places, and allow our customers, give our customers the ability to manage those particular items specifically within a platform. And talking about the platform, really the platform is an agnostic platform, and we built it that way because we wanted to make sure that our customers, could operate their device, whether it's in, on the cloud or whether it's their applications could be on the device. One more. Here we go. We also made it cloud agnostic because we understand that a lot of our customers have various different cloud networks within their organizations potentially, right? Whether that's a public, on-prem, or private cloud. Our platform will work on that, should work with you as well. And then one of the more key, I think, features that we love that we have about the platform is that it's device agnostic. We realized early on our customers were investing lots of money into hardware that they were, proving out the concept with, and we didn't want them to scrap any of that investment. In fact, we wanted to build on it and allow them to utilize those devices on our platform. So our platform can accommodate, other OEM third-party hardware such as, from Vuzix, Microsoft, or Oculus. And we're calling it market agnostic because it's a horizontal platform. It can span across several different verticals and segments within an organization. So let me take just a moment here and tell you a little bit about the hardware here. So this is the ThinkReality A6 head-mounted display. It's a light device. We focused on taking the compute power out of the headset and putting it in a compute pack, and I'll talk about the compute pack here in just a moment. So the headset itself weighs about 380 grams. It has integrated speakers and microphone for the use case, for a remote expert use case, or for capturing, and it has an RGB camera for capturing images or video. It's got a full featured sensor suite of capability here with the ability with the two fisheye cameras, an IMU, a depth sensor, the Intel Movidius vision processing unit, and with the RGB camera gives you all of the capability that AR has to offer. Also, our optics are provided by Loomis with 1080p resolution per eye and a 40-degree field of view. It's got a really interesting, we built it to be worn like a baseball hat. So you can put it on and off very easily. You can set your size. There is an adjuster on the side here that allows you to adjust the size if your head is a little bit larger or smaller than mine. But once you set the size, it's just easy to put it on and off. And you can wear it, it's very comfortable. Our ideal scenario is that it would be worn for short AR periods or sessions. You can even pop it up on your head like this. Instead of it doesn't have a hinge, but it's easy to manipulate and to work. And we tried to think of all the ways in which a user might use this in any kind of an environment like that. But the headset itself connects to the compute box. And so here's the compute box. It connects via a USB-C cable. It's it's powered by the Qualcomm 845 SoC processor. It's Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled. It's got two USB-C ports here on the top. One is for display, one is for data and power. And it also has a removable battery. And we did that on purpose. We wanted to make sure that it's got a 68 milliamp hour battery targeting a 4-hour battery life. And we were hoping to identify a way in which, if a customer were to use this for 4 hours, take their lunch break, come back, they swap out for a fresh battery, and they keep using the device. Or if they had to keep continual use of the device, they could just swap out a battery without having to sacrifice the whole headset to go set it on a charger or have it to recharge for the next use. But pretty excited about the headset. We've got demos running in our booth at booth 124, so feel free to drop on by and get a look at what it looks like. We've got a workflow process demo that we've got there. We've also got another demo that kind of highlights some of the future aspects of what AR is, where we want to take AR and the ability of AR to do what it can do, demonstrated on the device there at our booth. And in the time that I have left here, I just want to kind of talk a little bit about our platform, excuse me, and what you might see, right? So it's a cloud platform, and when you first log into the platform, what you see is the dashboard, right? And the dashboard gives you a quick at-a-glance view of your active and added devices, and the number of active users, as well as the number of apps that are deployed, and also the size and type of apps that are deployed on your platform. It's easy to add users to your group. Just as simply, go to the user menu, you go up and you hit the plus button, and then you can add users to your platform very easily. You can also assign them to groups or to segments, and then you can update their profiles based on their, if they happen to move or change jobs, during, while you're managing them on your platform. And then the device management. Device management is really easy to use as well. You can see here, and it's kind of a little bit blurry, but you can come to our booth and see it a little bit closer. But devices are, like I mentioned, it's an agnostic platform. You can utilize, HoloLens. I think in this example, we've got HoloLens. We've got Oculus Rift up there. It's built to accommodate and be compatible with other third-party products. And basically, you can see the devices currently they're on the platform. When the devices are added to the platform, they're kind of located. They show up as pending until that device actually calls home for the activation key, and then it's activated onto the system. And so it's really easy to manage devices that way. You can also configure your devices online through the tool as well, configuring different, for different use cases. As you, if they require that. And then the other thing is, going to the developer portal. We have a developer portal where you can access, all the tools that your developers might need to develop applications and to manage your content with our SDK, with the app keys. And this area is getting updated on a regular basis. And so you'd be able to go here and see other services and things that we're adding to the platform that you can then add into your content, your application. And then if you go to the asset manager, this is another item that I really like, because what this allows you to do is, if you're creating an application for a specific department, there may be components of that application that may apply to other departments as well. And so instead of having to go and create all those again, you can use the asset manager to store those and then share those across different content and different applications. And also with our platform, Lenovo is supplying what we're calling microservices. That includes remote expert, object recognition, optical character recognition, multi-user collaboration. These are all services we're going to build into the platform that you can then use almost as they are, right? You could you just utilize our remote expert application as it is from the platform, or you can customize it, right? All of our microservices will be open, and you can customize those if you need to attach those to different databases or other libraries, or pull in assets to emphasize and make those specific to your organization. And then on the with the app and development deployment, basically you can once your apps are ready to go, you can select who they go to, you can select which devices they go to, and then you can just deploy them with one click. So it's pretty easy to manage that way. Excuse me. So just, we talked about it. The transformation is here. We're ready to move forward. The industry needs to drive the adoption, and we feel a need at Lenovo to it's funny, when I talk to a lot of people about our devices, sometimes the question comes up, who is your top competitor, right? And I guess we could kind of go through and compare and contrast different devices and different solutions and platforms, but really our top competitor is time, right? The time to pull this end together and speed and getting this out to our customers and making it available, because we feel like there's an opportunity with this platform and within the industry right now to kind of work together to drive the adoption of AR into enterprise. That shift is focused from consumer to enterprise, and Lenovo's pretty excited about that. We're an enterprise-focused organization, but we're looking forward to doing that, and we feel like with an open platform and utilizing and I think another key component that we're focused on as well is not only for AR. I talked a lot about AR here, but this is also compatible toward VR. And so when we talk to customers, a lot of times you talk to AR and then you talk to VR, but they at some point they're going to converge, and you're going to need to manage both of those programs because they both have similar ways in which they need to be managed from a content and device standpoint. And what we're hoping is that as we send out this our product into the market, that we'll be able to help customers to do that. And I just want to kind of close with our corporate our most recent corporate branding logo campaign. It's smarter technology for all, and we really believe that here at Lenovo. We believe that the smarter technology can solve our problems, can create opportunities, and transform the way we live, learn, and work. So thank you for your time. Sorry it was a little bit choppy.
Okay, so we have opportunity to ask Mattney some questions.